guys, welcome to our first show of the year. Let's talk about it. And we have Samuel.
Yes.
So obviously, I don't think we were very clear on what we'll be talking about today when I sent this out. However, I can guarantee you that this guy's going to be dropping some gems that you're going to need to know that's going to carry you through 2021. Should I introduce you, or do you want to introduce yourself? How are we going to do about how are we doing this?
Either way, it's whatever.
Okay, so I know him as Samuel. I know him as Black Sam. I know him as director. I don't know how you want to play this, but yeah, introduce yourself to the people, and then we'll get started.
Cool. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me, Roxanne,
Yes.
on the first show of the year. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me here, and I pray that there's more blessings as the year progresses, for your show. So, without further ado, like Roxanne said, my name is Sam, aka Samuel, aka Black Sam.
It's just whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, on the day, literally, many different names, So
only the real ones will know about
that. So yeah, just Sam really. I have a background in music, working in the music industry, as well as being a co-founder of the #1 source of UK producer content, Producer Times UK. So yeah, we're here. We're here to talk about it.
Yeah. All right. Now, there's gonna be a lot impacted. I mean, last show we had was literally about what 2020 has taught us, and everyone knows that 2020 was a struggle. I know all of us were scraping to get to that finish line. I don't know about you, but that crossover service hit differently for me. Just made me be yep, I made it get to that line. But in all honesty, 2020 taught us a lot. And I think whereby we're moving on to a new year, I feel as though, I don't know about you guys, but I'm professing 2021, should I say, is my joy in the morning. And 2021 is going to be full of my pleasant surprises. And I feel as though, I don't remember how I started off last year, but I know that this year I'm manifesting great things and positivity even when it gets rough. And I think that's one thing that we kind of want to speak to you guys about today, dealing with hardships, dealing with situations that you may not even necessarily know whether it's going to go left or it's going to go the right way. How do you go about getting it to the right way, God's way? I mean, your way, but I don't think your way is the right way. But yeah, I think everyone has a different type of mentality. I know my reasons to bring Samuel on the show. I feel like I might discuss this later because I'm not trying to get him too gassed before we really even start the show. But yeah, I mean, I want us to start off by being really, really interactive. This is the first show of the year, guys. Let's actually start with a bang. I want you guys to flood the comments, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. We're both watching. We can see who's watching, who's tuning in, who's commenting. I just want you guys to get involved. Share your stories. You don't know who could be touched by your comments today. You don't know who you might even meet. You don't know who you're influencing right now, but literally just don't stay silent. This is a platform and we want to be open and honest and talk about everything. So yeah, let's talk about it. Now, let's kick off first by asking about your coping mechanisms. So, it's been a long year. Well, last year's been a long year. We're going into a new year. How have you been coping? We're still in the lockdown. The days are shorter. Everything like that. Put in your comments. Let's see how you're coping and see if there's a way that you can introduce something else to someone else, because walks aren't really doing it for me anymore.
What are you saying? They're done?
Walks are not really doing it for me. They used to hit differently during the summertime. It wasn't that bad, but the motivation to go out and go for a walk.
I know what you mean. By the time you finish work, it's dark outside.
It's 5.
Yeah.
You don't really want to go out.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know about you guys, but on my break, I power nap. So that 1 hour of my break, I'm power napping.
Don't you think it should be used to do something more constructive?
You're manager. You're actually not my manager, but it's all right with me. How do you cope, like, with what's going on right now?
So sometimes I do the power nap. I might power nap, you know.
You tried to come at me different.
You know,
First of all.
so sometimes it depends on how I'm feeling on the
Okay,
day. But
yeah.
more time I try to do something kind of productive. So obviously your break is meant for you to like eat, but now that we're working from home, we kind of have the luxury of eating
Being able to do,
whenever. So I tend to try to work out in the hour that I have. If I'm not working out, I'll maybe read a book or something.
Okay.
I'm not really one to watch TV, if I'm going to be honest. If there's something cool on Netflix, you know, I might watch it. Oh, UFC, yeah. If the UFC reruns are on,
Yeah.
I'll catch up with my UFC. But more commonly, I'll pick up a book and read. It might sound like I'm, you know.
To be honest, I actually have ordered this is probably the most books I've ever ordered, but I've ordered quite a few books, and like just doing that instead of like binge watching Real Housewives or something like that has actually helped a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but there are different ways in terms of like coping and whatnot. I mean, Nikki says that she naps on her breaks too. But
so Nikki's napping as well. Okay.
Nikki's napping as well.
Okay.
We have Faye who says that she goes for runs in the mornings before work. She does a 5K. Ooh, sis, I'm not gonna lie, you might need to.
Big up. Who was it? Faye.
Yeah.
Big up Faye. Yeah, that's positive, man. I like that. 5Ks in the morning, and you know the weather is really bad as well, and it's really cold. So yeah, that's determination. I like that.
That's dedication.
That's dedication.
That's something I need, boy.
Yeah, try it. But you know what? Message her, and then you go after tomorrow morning. Start from tomorrow. Why not?
I'm never gonna deceive myself. It's not happening.
Okay. Well,
but
this Saturday.
Maybe. I can put. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But Faye, 100%, girl. Yeah.
That's dedication.
It is dedication. So, other than coping mechanisms, are there things mentally that you feel as though you've had to change? Physically? Anything like that?
Mentally, I feel we've all had to adjust in some capacity. I feel like, you know, people were used to the hustle and bustle of every day just happening. You know, get up, go to work, be at work for your, you know, however many hours, come back home, maybe go gym or spend the evening watching a program or something of that nature. If you're not working, maybe going to, you know, the educational institution, uni, college, school, and then, doing that Monday to Friday. So it was kind of like a repetitive kind of cycle that we were all locked into. But I feel as, you know, things have changed now whereby everything is literally stopped. Yeah. Like, it's come to a halt. You can't do the things that you wanted to do, you can't do the things that you used to do
before. Yeah,
exactly. And you can't do the things necessarily that you want to do now. So I think it's required a lot of, you know, changing thought processes, changing you know, lifestyles, and just adapting more than anything. But I think it's good personally. I personally think it's for me anyway. It's been a time whereby I've used it to, you know, better myself. Yeah. So things that I may not necessarily have had the time to do prior, I've been able to do that now. Yeah. You know, so I think it's been positive, i.e. reading. That's something I would never do, you know. I would watch my UFC, you know I'd watch my UFC. But reading, picking up a book, that was, you know, not anywhere on the radar. But now I've been able to, you know, channel my energy into something like that.
You know what I think it is? Because I can say the same thing about the whole reading thing. I can't remember the last time that I actually completed a book, like, in terms of reading.
Uni?
Don't shame me. Don't shame me, but yeah, probably. I think whereby not everything, like, you get tired after a bit. I feel like Netflix, like binge watching your shows, in bed with your laptop on your lap just
Yeah.
it doesn't bang the same way, number one.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, having that energy or that like motivation to go and work out isn't the same. And when you're trying to do it and it's not being as helpful as it was before in terms of a coping mechanism, you start thinking of different ways to cope. And I think that's where the reading has come in. Like that's where the writing has come in. That's where different things have come into play. And that's why I feel as though I'm adjusting differently than I was with the first or the second lockdown. But it's literally just because coping mechanisms only last for a short amount of time. It's not going to be the same a year later. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're right. It's ever changing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's ever changing.
100%.
I feel like, just to touch on your point of sitting down with your laptop on Netflix, I feel like you should be mindful of what you're consuming, with regards to what you're feeding yourself mentally.
Yeah.
So we know like full well what we need to eat to make sure that we don't get out of
Puff off.
yeah. So we know what we need to what we shouldn't consume, should I
Yeah.
say, and then we know the right things to consume. You know,
Yeah.
to make sure that we're healthy. But I think we also need to apply that mantra to what we're consuming on our day to day with regards to our mind, because whatever you put in your mind, it manifests in your actions.
This is it.
You know what I mean? So if you're just consuming, for lack of a better term, junk, by watching nonsense, in essence, then that's going to reflect in the way you act subconsciously. That's what I believe anyway.
Yeah.
So at the same time, you know, the brain is a beautiful thing whereby it can decipher, you know, trained in the right way, it can decipher what is, you know, right and what is wrong. So that's why, for instance, I watch a lot of UFC, but I'm not going to go fight somebody on the street because...
But then surely that's literally letting that... Anyways.
You know, and again, another thing is everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. You practice, and that's actually one of something that I want to touch on a bit later. But if you practice everything in moderation, I think you'll be all right. So too much of anything, I think, is a bit... It's bad.
Good.
Yeah, it's not good for you, you know.
I mean, it is a saying, to be fair.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to go on to, you know, keeping faith and dealing with hardships. Now, I won't put you on the spot or anything.
I'm ready,
but
man. I'm ready.
Let's go. I mean, the reason as to why I brought Samuel as a guest speaker today is because you're like a prime example of going through hardship. I mean, you have a story, should I say? And I feel like I've always said this. I feel like people need to hear your story because it just shows like the works of God, and it shows like how you definitely have a purpose in life. Like you have been given a second chance of life, and like you're a survivor, mate. And obviously, I don't want to try and gash you now, but I mean, like, I think your outlook on things now are completely different. So yeah, I mean, I won't talk too much, but I'll give you the floor to kind of speak.
I feel you.
Just let us know how you do it.
I feel you. What can I say? Just to touch on the point that you said, like the survivor aspect. I'm Destiny's Child, man. I'm a survivor. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just feel like Roxanne said, there is a story there. I have a story, and I'm gonna, you know what? Let me just delve into it without further ado. So it was I'll never ever forget the date. You know, I'll never forget the date because obviously it's a date of significance in my life, but also there's a specific song that is named That Date by J. Cole.
No way.
Yeah. And I remember the album and everything, and it's called January 28th, but it's got nothing to do with my situation. Yeah, but I'll just never forget the date. So it was January 28th, 2018, and I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now, for the people that don't know what that is,
Yeah, I know what that is.
that that is a type of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I was diagnosed with cancer on the 28th of January 2018. I mean, I'm gonna pack a lot because we haven't got the time to, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that began one of the most difficult journeys ever in my life. I'd say the most difficult journey that I've had to take, or should I say, the most significant battle or war that I've had to fight in my life. And prior to getting the diagnosis, you know, like, it was a thing where I was actually neglecting my health.
Okay.
So I thought I was doing what was best with regards to going to the gym and, you know, making sure I was eating right and stuff like that. But I was actually neglecting the symptoms that were there, whereby it was being more detrimental to my health more than anything. So some of the symptoms of the Hodgkin's lymphoma was profuse sweating whilst one sleeps. Also, it was, as a result of that, it was dramatic weight loss. Now, I'm someone that weighs what I weigh. I weigh what I weigh, yeah. But it was noticeable. My weight loss was very noticeable. And me being me, I just thought that was, okay, I'm doing my thing in the gym, man. Like,
But were you actually doing your thing in the gym?
I thought I was, you know what I'm
But you
saying?
said you neglected your health. So.
No, so yeah, I was consistently going gym like 3-4 times a week.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
so I was doing my thing. So I thought, you know what, now's my time to shine. I'm doing my thing, you know what I mean? But then it got to a point, another one of the symptoms was an inflamed lymph nodes. So again, for those who know, because, you know, like myself, I wasn't aware of these terms and these things prior to getting the diagnosis. So your lymph nodes are located all around your body. They're not actually visible, but, you know, they're, you know, yeah, do some research. So yeah, I had inflamed lymph nodes. And then another one was itching. So all these things, I just thought, even at the time, I thought the itching was because I changed my washing powder.
But you know what? There's a thing is.
You know what I mean?
Think of an excuse for you, but
at the end of the day, I should have gone. You know, thank you so much to family that pushed me to actually go to the GP, to get my blood tested, etc. They done a biopsy. Again, a biopsy is when they take a sample of the area in which. So my lymph node had inflamed so much it became like a boil, and that was under my armpit. So they took a biopsy, a sample of that to test to see what it was. So fast forward to January 28th, that's when I received the news that, you know, this is what it is. And I remember, I'll never actually forget, like, my family was with me there, and I'll never forget, like, the way I felt. It was kind of like, okay, I've been told this news, but then what was like the light at the end of the tunnel for me is when they said, this type of cancer is curable. And I held on to that. I literally, that's what I used to grab onto.
Yeah.
Held onto it, and I said, all right, it's curable, cool. I'm gonna get my cure by any means necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was my mentality from the get-go. So obviously, you know, you come back from the appointment, relay it to my wider family, let them know what the situation is. And I just remember saying to everyone, like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, you guys don't have to worry. You know what I mean? It's literally just, this is just a bump in the road in regards to the marathon of my life. You know, this is going to be a story that I'll tell in the future. So fast forward now, I go through chemotherapy, and then when I'm telling, you know, even leading up to me going to chemo, I'm sharing with like a close knit amount of friends and family the situation, and they're just shocked because they see Sam as, you know what I mean, go to the gym all the time, he's always running, he's active, he's doing this, he's doing that. How could it be you, kind of thing? What happened? Do you have anything in your family that you know of? This, and all these questions I didn't have the answer to. I just thought, you know what, this is happening for a reason. It's a lesson. You could treat it as a loss, or you could treat it as a lesson. And I feel that's what life is about. When you're faced with, you know, different circumstances, you could treat them as a loss or treat them as a lesson to make you better, you know? So yeah, I've told like my, you know, close-knit friends, and I remember there was a particular friend, I'm not gonna out my friend.
Just in case.
But he knows who he is, he knows who he is. And I remember I told him, and it was a day later, he called me and he was like, bro, like I actually cried. He was like, I actually cried, like it brought tears to my eyes when you told me that information. I was just like, bro, you don't need to, you know, I understand it's scary, innit? Yeah. But I have conviction I'm gonna be all right. So let that carry you. Yeah. You know what I mean? That should carry you, that I'm convinced that I'm gonna be perfectly fine. You know what I mean? So I feel like I just carried that same mentality going forward through the span of, you know, my treatment. But it was difficult because, you know, sitting down for 3 hours with a needle in your arm and liquid going in and out of your arm is tough, man. And then I remember as well, at one point, I was taking like 15 different tablets in one day. And I had to do that over the course of 4 days just to combat the nausea from the treatment. So the way it was is I had treatment every 2 weeks, and 1 week, so I'd go in on, let's say, a Monday, have the treatment on a Monday, leave, come back home, and then I'm just flat out, I'm tired, I just want to sleep, and I've also swollen up as well. So I have to take steroids as well, which you know, makes you swell up. Yeah. So for 1 week, I'm completely out of it. And then the following week, that's when I'm kind of back to normal. Yeah. But then the following week after that, I have to go again. And there was 8 cycles, so I had to keep doing that. So it was a testing time. It was a very, very testing time. But for me, another thing is I wanted to maintain all sorts of normality. So hence the reason why I didn't tell a lot of people. Yeah. Because I didn't want to be treated any different. I really just didn't want to be treated any different. In my mind, I was just like, you know what? It's cool, I'm fine. Like I know I'm going through something, but we all go through stuff. Yeah. At the end of the day, we all have our hurdles. It got to a point I was even still going to work.
You're wild.
I was even still going to work.
But you know what it is? Just to cut you off, sorry, I'm gonna let you finish what you're saying. But I've always had this thing where, like, and I'm sure Pastor Moses can back me with this, yeah? When you feel as though the only person that can resolve a situation is God, you in your heart may have that faith, like, no, God's going to do it for me. But you have to limit who you tell, because you don't want other people to now start talking and shake your own faith.
100%.
And I feel like that's part of the reason as to why when certain things happen or when you're going through certain trials and tribulations, like, there's only a handful of people that you can tell. Because if you had that wrong person or that one person that came and started, you know, trying to tell you, no, but it's cancer.
Yeah.
Did you not hear what happens with cancer? You know, cancer research still haven't found it. Like, when people start putting that in, you might start thinking, yo, like
this is big, this is mad.
This is actually massive. But it's the simple fact that you held on to what you initially believed once you had that diagnosis, which is, you know what, it's curable. Yeah. So I'm going to hold on to that, and no one can shake my faith.
100%.
That's lit. Sorry, continue.
No, I said, no, 100%,
Sorry, but
100%. Like the creator, God knew what he was doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Some people say God gives the hardest battles to the strongest soldiers.
Soldiers, 100%.
Some people say that, you know what I mean? But
He won't put more on you than he can
exactly, I like to use that term.
Yeah.
God never gives you more than he knows you could deal with. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So yeah, like, I was still going to work at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that I should stop coming to work because I don't need to
Mm-hmm.
actually be there. But again, that was, I'm speaking of coping mechanisms, that was my coping mechanism.
Get your mind off of it?
Yeah.
Or just normality?
Yeah, just normality and to take my mind. So not sitting in bed feeling sorry for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I started like going for runs at 6 a.m. in the morning. This is while I'm on the, you know, the
Treatment.
antibiotics,
Yeah.
and everything, all of that. So like I said, it will be the week of me feeling a bit, you know, feeling the repercussions of the treatment. And then the following week, I'm kind of back to normal. So that following week is when I'd do my fitness, still go to the gym, you know, wake up early, just try and maintain all normality.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, so I remember I was getting to like the near the end of my chemo treatment. And you know what, funnily enough, when people hear chemo, they think, okay, you're going to lose your hair straight away. So that's one of the repercussions that, you know, the doctor did explain that is a possibility. But I grew my hair like crazy. It's just like my beard, go on, give me back. my beard, like honestly, my beard was the healthiest and best that it ever was. It hasn't gone back.
No, this is a mad cheeky apple.
It hasn't.
No, let me just be him, isn't it? Because
Like it was, my beard was proper growing. My fingernails, like literally every 2 weeks, my fingernails would grow back. Like I'll look at my hand, like, how are my fingernails growing back so quickly? But I guess that was the byproduct of the treatment. But yeah, I remember.
So what it's supposed to do for others, it wasn't doing for you, but doing the exact opposite.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I remember like it was like the 7th cycle, and I was saying to my family like, I'm fed up with this, man. This is like my breaking point. Like mentally, I was just so fed up, sitting there for 3 hours, and then feeling, you know, run down for the week, and then I just something just I believe it was God, and God manifested Himself in each and every one of my family members and friends, to keep me going, you know what I mean? So they were just like, yeah, you know, you're nearly at the end of the cycle. You're nearly at there. Just keep going, nearly there. And then, you know, we got to the end of the cycle, and then it moved on to the radiotherapy. So the radiotherapy was I think it was literally like 10 days consistently of going in and them targeting the specific area which had been infected. And then, yeah, it was 10 days of that. And along the journey as well, I met, you know, big up all the doctors, man. Big up all the, from the person that helped me at the front desk to tell me where to go, to everyone that said hello to me, to the people that weighed me, the people that just had passing conversation, people that I saw once and never saw again. Big up everyone, man, because you helped me in that process, and I thank every single one of you.
That's crazy.
It was even got to the point that so I went to a college that was kind of known, you know, quite a lot. I went to a college that quite a lot of people went to, and as a result, I made a lot of friends, which then, you know, as you do, you fall out of communication with later on in life. Turns out that a friend of mine from college was one of the doctors, one of the radiotherapists that helped treat me.
No.
Two of them, sorry. 2 of them. Shout out. They know who they are. They know who they are.
Wow.
2 of them were part of the people that helped me during radiotherapy. So, you know, God works in miraculous, mysterious ways, you know. So yeah, we got to that, and then that was 10 days, and then I think my treatment ended in like May or June of 2018. Yeah. And then from there, so they explained that what happens is there's a period called remission. So you have the treatment, and then they say, cool, treatment's done now. There's this period of remission whereby the cancer can come back, but it shouldn't if things have gone the way that they should. So that remission ended 2 days after my birthday.
That same year?
No, 2020. So it's 2 years. Yeah, so 2 years, 2 days after my birthday, 2020. And when I went in for a checkup, and they were like, yeah, everything's, you know, all good. All good, yeah, we ain't got to see you again. And it was then that I was kind of like, wow, like this is actually, it's become like these checkups and stuff has become like the fabric of it's intertwined into my life. It's kind of like the norm now.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to be going to have a checkup every so often. But for them to say, you know, that's it. You're done. You're done. Yeah, we don't need to, you know, if you got any questions, you can holler, but you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, it was, yeah. So just thank God, you know.
Honestly.
And yeah, in that time, there's also been, you know, other testing things like, I lost my dad last year, God rest his soul. You know, and that was a test in itself, but you know, again, God doesn't give you more than you can handle. You know what I mean? So I believe, like, my dad, he left a great legacy in his children, me and my siblings, and we'll do our best to, you know, uphold that legacy as well as build our own, because I genuinely believe that is what, you know, he would want us to do, you know. But it all starts here. It all starts here. That's what, and tying into, sorry to keep talking, but
keep going.
tying into what I was saying about what you feed your mind. If I wasn't feeding my mind the right thing, then who knows where I would be.
Where you would have been. This is it.
You know what I mean?
Mate. First of all, I mean, you know what it is? I've heard this story before, maybe not in as much depth as how you've given it now. But I feel as it always just kind of wakes something up in me to feel like, yo, like that is a different type of faith. That's a different type of like mentality. Now, I think I touched on it earlier in terms of like the reason as to why I brought Samuel on this show. And now that you've heard his story, it's like you will never see this guy without a smile on his face. It's ridiculous. It might even just be like oh, yo, Roxy, you right? And I'm like, no, like, this is annoying, and he will just be there smiling and laughing. You'll be thinking, why are you smiling? Like, why are you smiling? It's not funny. But like, for him, he can even be going through the same thing, but he's so mellow with it. Like, it's literally as though, like, why are you still smiling? You know when people actually say, like, I smile, you know when your enemy's even confused, like, why are you smiling? Why are you praising? This guy's 24/7, you're seeing the gold teeth in his mouth because it's literally like, there's nothing that can shake you. And I think like when you have such a positive like mentality or outlook on life, the way you do, I feel like you actually have a purpose to touch people with your story as to like how nothing is too small or too big for God to do, should I say. There's nothing in which your own mentality and mindset can't defeat. Because they always say it's kind of just as, it's like some people can walk into to the doctors feeling fine, and they might get that bad doctor's report. But the way that they accept that report is like the next day or they even come out of the doctors actually physically looking sick, but they went in there looking fine. And it's just so, it tells you how powerful your mind is and how you have to digest things and have such an outlook on. Like they say that the tongue is powerful, in which
100%.
it is, but your mind is also very, very, very powerful. And whew, child. Sorry, let me go to the comments because I feel as though this is really sparking something. All right, so yeah, we got man like Yeetis.
Hey, big up Geetus.
Sam, we should start producing a movie about you, Champion.
Big up Geetus, man.
Literally. And then we have Pussy Print who said, question for Sam, having come through what you have, how has it changed you and your outlook on things moving forward?
That's a brilliant question, you know. That is a brilliant question. And I'll answer it next week. No, I'm joking.
But you ain't gonna be here next week.
How has it changed my outlook? You know what? It's given me clarity. Roxanne touched on it a bit earlier on, and she mentioned that I've been given a second chance, and those are the exact words that I've used when expressing myself and telling my story to other people, that I've literally been given a second shot at what we call life, you know what I'm saying? And with that, it's just given me the tunnel vision of what I need to do, not necessarily when I need to do it by, because I might have my own plans, but God has his own timing in my life, you know? But what I need to do, what I need to be focused on, and just making sure I have that clear-cut vision and clarity with regards to what I'm doing with my life. And yeah, it's taken. I don't know if I could say it's taken this situation, but I'm sure, you know, this situation has helped with that process of providing the clarity. So big up you for that question.
We have another one from Adebola Ahmed who has said, tell us about how to feed your kind.
Your mind.
Yeah, it
Probably
is.
mind. Okay.
Feed your mind, yeah. What were the right things you were feeding your mind that gave you such a positive perspective to life? I feel like that's...
Ooh, that's a big up you for that question. Adebola.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the question, Adebola. I personally, my remedy is music. So when I'm listening to my music, it really helps. You know, there's I listen to literally anything and everything. And then also, I like to, again, I touched on it earlier, I like to read, but not just reading literature, also audiobooks. I find that audiobooks, you know, really help my thought processes, you know, when I'm trying to take in information. And yeah, just, you know, whatever book, whatever literature that you're taking in, you know, it helps. It genuinely helps because you're learning. I feel like in life, we should be as willing as possible to learn, to just continuously be a sponge, because no one is, even the term expert, that no one's an expert in everything. Because if you think about it, once you become an expert in something, that thing has then evolved again, or that thing has changed again. So then you have to go through the process of learning about it again. So you should get your mind state into a place where you're constantly hungry for learning and, you know, feeding your brain with you know, new content and changing and the changes that are happening in life. So yeah, I guess reading, listening to music, praying as well. Let's not forget praying, meditating. You know, those type of things. Just kind of take time to kind of close the door on the world and focus on self. You know what I mean? I think that's so important for people to just take time to just, I know it's difficult in this day and age we live in as young people, as people in general, you know, we have access. Yeah, you know, we have access to social media and we're on it pretty much. Our phones are TVs, you know, and we're on it pretty much every day. So have time to just put your phone away, take off your Apple Watch, close your laptop, put down your iPad,
All of that.
everything, put it away, and just, you know, spend time with your loved ones, chill, relax, and just focus on self as well.
Okay. Literally. Oh, we even have another one. Please tell us some of your favorite books that I can go and read so I can grow up to be like you.
Oh man, I've actually compiled a reading list. I don't have it with me, but off the top of my head, Akala, Natives, Atomic Habits. I forget the author, but Atomic Habits was a really good one that I read. I'm currently reading a book called Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. He was a Nigerian literature writer. And a few more. If anything, I'll drop the reading list
in the comments.
In the comments,
so you guys have to come back.
Yeah. You have to come back to see my reading list. But yeah, there's a lot of literature. I read a lot of, like, I wouldn't say self-help, but motivational literature. I enjoy reading motivational literature. Yeah.
Literally. Okay, cool. I'm gonna read out some comments.
Yeah.
We have Happy, who said, "God is great. He favored you, Sam."
Thank you. Amen.
Ifioma said, "Wow, thank God for your bravery. God is good." Fatima said, you can touch people's lives with how you handle your trying times." Sorry guys, I'm trying to flick through platforms. So, yes. Then we have, good to see you both spreading the right words and motivating people. It's sometimes good to watch nonsense just to relax from daily stress.
Very true. You need a balance.
Sometimes you need a balance.
You need a balance, 100%. You need that. So they call it trash TV.
Yeah.
You need a bit of that.
We have Eleanor who said, "Facts, Sam, I'm in shock." Literally. Grace, he says, "Faith wins, period." I like period. That's
period.
Actually, I can just imagine the period right there.
Big up, Grace.
We have Pussy Print, who said, "Amazing. Thanks for sharing your testimony." Jimmy has said, "Keep shouting out to the achievements, brother."
That's my bro. That's my bro. Thank you, brother.
It's crazy. Then we've got such an amazing, vulnerable conversation. Thanks, guys. Things Fall Apart is a great lesson. I read Things Fall Apart. Wow, my reading is just doing hinky. Sorry, guys. What? I read Things Fall About for literature at school. LOL. I'm thinking that's supposed to be Things Fall Apart.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Me, Myself, and I has said, "Wow, thanks for sharing your testimony. The topic of mental health is so important, and getting regular health checks, no matter how young or fit you may feel, a conversation that needs to be normalized." 100%.
I agree.
I feel like there are quite a few things that need to be normalized when it comes to health. I feel like, especially within our community,
100%.
the things we don't talk about, the things that are like an abomination, or things that, you know, as long as you know, do to fiakwa, or God forbid, over somebody's head, it's gone, which obviously God heals, but conversations need to be had because we're all still humans. So we need to have those type of conversations. Let's normalize it.
Yeah, I think just to echo that point, people say, you know, God heals, but God helps those who help themselves.
Exactly. And I feel like, even though, like, God already had a plan on your life, if you weren't doing things in terms of, you know, getting up for your 6 a.m. running, like taking your meds when you needed to, doing certain things, you're not really helping yourself, are you? And the story might have been different, but you also play a part in getting to where you need to be. And I feel like, sorry guys, I'm going to come back to the comments. I'm just thinking about the time, in all honesty. But yeah, what I wanted to touch on, I don't think we're going to get through everything today, Samuel. I might have to bring you back.
No worries. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think state of mind is power. I was having this conversation with one of my close friends the other day. You know who you is. But yeah, we were talking about the fact that there was, you know, someone who I won't say whether they took their own life or whatever, but someone on the Only Way is Essex.
Okay.
And it was the fact that we were thinking like, as much as we are secure in our mental and in God, there are actually people out there that are constantly suffering or feel as though they don't have a way out. And it's all about the state of mind, because you can be going through things, and I think everyone goes through things, but it's whether you decide to stay in that state of mind. Like, you know, you can kind of dwell on something for a day or two, but when you're constantly just living in that specific state of mind, it becomes such a deep pit, and it's so dangerous. And it's literally just, your mind is one of the biggest abilities to control your whole life. Like
100%.
once you have channeled something in your brain, whether it's positive or negative, that will be your life. As much as you don't want to admit, that will be your life. So you need to figure out, what side are you going to be? Are you going to be on the optimistic side, in which, you know, you see your glass as half full, or are you going to be on the side which is half empty and, you know, that's just it, it's half empty and there's nothing we can do about it. Do you know what I mean? But, whew, mate, I'm sorry, but I feel as though every time I hear that song, I'm just like, rah, like,
Yeah, it's crazy because
it's crazy.
you can have everything but have nothing.
Exactly.
But then you can have nothing and have everything.
This is it.
You know?
Literally, and people have to see that mentality. So we have Gemma, who said, we need more conversations like this weekly. My mindset right now has turned positive for the better, and it's motivating. Thank you, Roxanne Sam.
Big up, Gemma.
Sally, who said, mindfulness really helps with staying in the present. Now, guys, I know we kind of touched on coping mechanisms, but I really do think, get in the comments and share your coping mechanisms, because you generally don't know who you're helping today. We're talking about having to have these difficult conversations, how this isn't something that we tend to talk about. And literally, there's so many different ways. We've got like, Warren, obviously, he said that, you know, you look beautiful, sis. Yeah, because you helped me with my hair. But yeah, big up you, Warren. But yeah, but this third lockdown has been difficult in terms of productivity. I've been gymming in the house, which is good. And thankfully, we got the footy to watch. So that kills time too. I don't know about football, but that's definitely one.
Definitely kills time, man.
Literally. So Netflix is good around Christmas. It gets boring after a while. I've done the same, bought loads of books to educate the brain. I can't come out of 2021 not doing anything. This is what we were going to talk about, babe, but I don't know whether we have time.
What's that?
But I can't come out of 2021 not doing anything.
Yeah, that's a whole, yeah.
That was a whole nother
whole nother conversation, whole nother segment.
One, literally.
Yeah.
But there's literally so much, in a sense where I literally want everyone to have that type of mentality of things will get better. Like, this pandemic's only going to be for a season, and it too shall pass. But in the meantime, we need to check on our people. Like, I know that even in that time when you kind of went ghost because of what you're going through, you may not have told someone, but just the fact that someone thought about you and reached out to you to be like, yo, Sam, like, are you all right? Like, you've been a bit silent. That would have helped a lot. So you generally don't know, but I think this time more than ever, it's like positivity all the way. And yeah, we have Sister Moji, who has said, you can have nothing but have everything. That is powerful.
Big up, Sister Moji.
Yeah, man. Before we literally say our farewells for this show, would you like to give any shout outs? Would you like to give like any advice?
Yeah.
Any last words?
Yeah. You know, I prepared some notes, in fact. I prepared some notes.
Go on, Ian.
So if you don't mind, I'm just my parting gift for everyone would be these notes that I made.
Okay.
And essentially, it's not me saying, you know, live by this, but it's stuff that I apply and live by in my own life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the first one is, they say you only live once, but in reality, you only die once. we get the chance, we're given the chance through the grace of God to live every single day.
This is it.
We're given life every single day. So make sure that gift that you're given every day, you make the most of it. That's the first one. We touched on this already. But anything in excess can be bad for you. So learn to practice things in moderation.
Yeah.
Social media again, we touched on it. I compare it to a tool.
Okay.
So I say this to a lot of people. I feel like I'm gonna copyright this, so no one use this one.
Are you
So-
sure? Okay.
So-
You sure?
Social media is like a hammer. You can use a hammer to build, but you can use a hammer to break.
Ooh, can you repeat that again?
Yeah.
That one. You know when I said dropping gems, I think that one was the five.
The salt bait.
Come on.
So yeah, I compare social media to like a hammer. You could use it to build, or you could use it to destroy or break down. So you know, it's in the hands of the welder, essentially. You know, you gotta know how you're using social media when you are using it. So always be mindful of that. I'm very mindful of that personally. This one is very I feel like this one is like the top of the toppest.
I don't know how you're gonna beat the hammer one, but let's go.
I think this one is the top, and that is treating one's time like currency. If you think about it, you don't, well, some people do, but you shouldn't really spend your money willy-nilly without having money in the bank, right?
It's true.
You know, so essentially, if you compare your time, you know, to money, then spending it anyhow, you know, with anyone doing anything is
This is it.
taken away from valuable time that you could be spending on yourself, you know,
Listen.
and loved ones, you know.
You know,
So-
when it comes to time, yeah, I'm always on. Listen, money, you can always get that back.
100%.
Time, you can't get that back.
Once it's gone, it's
time
gone.
is so valuable. Like that's the most expensive thing you can give to someone, or to even people in general. Sorry, let you finish.
That's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So that was 4.
Yeah.
And this is for the people that are feeling, you know, maybe you've been feeling down of late. I mean, we're in a 3rd lockdown. You know, so I just want to say to people, like, you are the coolest version of yourself. Like, your power is in your individuality and your uniqueness. So just be focused on being you, because there's no one else that could be a better version of you.
This is it.
No one could be a better version of Sam than Sam. No one could be a better version of Roxanne than Roxanne.
That's it.
And you're the coolest person by being yourself. When people see that you're copying someone else, you're doing what someone else has already been done.
It's not extraordinary.
You know? So yeah, focus on being you, man. Big up yourself. And then the last one, this might be the toppest of the toppest of the toppest, you know?
The elite.
Yeah, this might be the, you know what I'm saying? The last one is, I believe that greatness is never found in your comfort zone. So, in 2021...
We might have to change the title of this one, you know? We might have to change the title in this one, boy, but okay.
Never found in your comfort zone, so, you know, get active, man. You know?
I hear
And yeah, that was it. That's it for me.
You know what? Guys, in all honesty, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in, because, and thank you, Samuel, for
Nah, it's a
dropping them
pleasure.
gems.
Thank you.
I think you might need to actually go back and trademark that hammer one, because
Listen,
even me, I'm feeling tempted. I'm feeling tempted, but no, in all honesty, I just want to leave it on some great points and things that people have left in the comments. So, you know, God works in miraculous ways. Wow, what is going on? Come on. So, keep being strong and positive. Thank God that the cancer has gone. Praise be to God.
always.
We have AA events. I think you guys need to check out that page too. Everything starts off with mindset. Everyone's human and will go through good and bad, but always look for the positive, and there's always blessings in everything. Everyone should remember that it's okay to not be okay. That was from Sally. Grace honestly can't express how priceless it is. Nikki came with the well, an example. A great coping mechanism is getting better sleep, not sleeping too much or too little. And preparing for sleep better can help loads as well. Nikki and your sleep. We're even talking about naps in your breakfast. Feel free to answer this question or not. Sorry, I'm not sure if this has been covered, but is Sam married, single, committed, seen anyone? Just asking with a wink.
It's all mad.
Might-
You have to check out the next, our
The
next
next show
yeah,
to
the next
find that
show
one
to find
out.
out. Yeah, man.
Cool.
I'm in love with God, man.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay. So quality sleeping is indeed key. Gems, 100%. Listen, gems from Sam and Rox. Yeah, but assertiveness is real important. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to read it because it's gassing you, but you know what? You've dropped some gems. But yeah, Sam needs to do a show of his gems.
Hey.
Come on.
Hey, who
You might need
knows?
to trademark that first.
Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate all the comments. Every single person that has taken their time to tune in. Really appreciate your time.
But yeah, I like the last advice. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Sam, for all the great words. I'm sure you have blessed loads of people. Your mindset is A1. But yeah, prayer is the main key with faith.
Thanks.
But yeah, guys, I feel like we have really overrun, so apologies, but I'm sure that you guys have been touched. Please, please, please do keep a lookout for the next show, which will be in 4 weeks. Don't know whether we'll be bringing Sam back or not, but we might see because we didn't get to finish. But thank you so much. Keep hanging in there, guys. Honestly, positivity is the way forward. Like 2021 is our joy in the morning. 2021 will be our year of pleasant surprises. From January up until December, God will do miraculous things for us. You just need to literally hold on to that in your everyday. Wake up with a positive thought. Go to sleep with a positive thought. Like, keep doing what you're doing, guys, because we will get through this year. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.